y'all, it's the Cincy Lady of East Texas. So recognition is super, super important in this business, because if you were at a job in the corporate world, you have your mind made up that, you're going to have a 6-month evaluation or an annual evaluation, and you're going to get a 10-cent, $2, whatever raise. But in the direct sales business world, it really can be a downer if you don't feel like somebody is proud. A lot of people crave those shout outs, those accolades. They want to be told great job, because that's what keeps them going. They need to know that they reached that carrot that was dangling, right? They need to know that they did a good job and that they reached their goals. And honestly, sometimes the goals can be so overwhelming to keep up with that if you just started your Cincy business, you're not even thinking about your shooting star, your sensational start level 1, 2, or 3, a promotion, getting promoted to lead, how to navigate the workstation, how to place an order, how to have recruiting combos. It's so much, right? And so you always want to be sure that you are staying on top of those things and shouting them out, because it may come as a surprise to people, because they're like, I did what? Like, I was just having fun and working my business. But it wasn't the stress of, oh my gosh, you keep hounding me about this sensational start and I'm on day 50 and you keep telling me, I have 70 days or whatever. And so you don't want it to be stressful, but you definitely want to celebrate those things when they do happen, because they are a big deal. But it could be so simple as so-and-so booked her first party. So-and-so was active for the first time. So-and-so, was, beat their check mark. Those are things to celebrate, because you want to shout people out. You want to give them shout outs and accolades and woohoos and way to goes as often as you can, because that's what builds us up in this business. If you never hear anything from anybody, then it's easy to get into a rut and think, am I doing a good job? Why is nobody recognizing me? Yes, the paycheck is great, but sometimes they just want to hear, way to go, or wow, you did so good. And so that is where your shout outs can come into play. Now, you don't have to break the bank. You don't have to give away your whole paycheck in order to do shout outs of any sort, right? You can do Facebook shout outs. You can do text messages. You can do happy mail. You can do email. You can do voice messages through Messenger. You can do all sorts of things. So if you have a team page, you can also do shout outs for being active. So how I do is I do active by the 5th, active by the 15th, 500 by the 15th. I always celebrate if anybody has gotten a recruit. I always celebrate promotions. Promotions are huge because they need to understand that is such a big deal, and it's a big deal to have gotten there, but they need to keep it up, right? Some people are just like, oh, well, I reached lead, or oh, I reached superstar consultant, woohoo, way to go. Well, that's where you have to keep that momentum up. You have to keep that excitement up, because they need to understand they have to reach that all the time in order to continue getting paid at title. So that's where those types of things come into play. Now, what I do for promotions is I have these generic postcards printed, and it just says, congrats on your promotion too. And then I left this part blank so that I can just handwrite in whatever level that they reached. And then you crushed it. And then down here, I just write, heart, autumn. And then on the back, I handwrite I'm so proud of you, look at you go, blah, blah, blah. And then I just put this in an envelope with some confetti. And if I have something flat for them, then I send that out to them as well. But y'all, you always, always, always want to celebrate as much as you can, and you want to be consistent. You don't want it to seem like, oh, you're celebrating them when you get paid at title. Or, oh, you're celebrating them when it helped you, reach a promotion. You don't want it to seem one-sided. You don't want it to seem like, or be portrayed as you only celebrate things when it helped you as the leader. You want to celebrate everything, because at the end of the day, this these people are on your team and they deserve to be rewarded and celebrated and acknowledged for their achievements. So it doesn't have to break the bank. It doesn't have to be tedious. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be expensive, right? It just needs to be done and needs to be done consistently, because when people feel special, they feel valued, they feel important, and they're going to want to stick around. They're going to want to keep proving to themselves that they can keep going in this business, and they're not going to get burnout. They're going to be able to know that you are in their corner, you are their cheerleader, and you are rooting for them, right? Because you're celebrating everything. It doesn't have to cost a lot, but you have to be consistent, because you don't want it to be, oh, we had the best month ever, way to go, blah, 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 you did whatever. And then they'd be like, is that just because we had the best month ever? You don't want it to be, misconstrued or anything like that. So be consistent and diligent with your shout outs and acknowledging your team. And I promise, they are going to love it. They are going to thrive because of it. And they are definitely going to keep working hard because they loved how that made them feel. And they're going to want to continue to feel that way. Y'all have a good one.